let's talk about physics, quantum physics, and our signs to the universe. Not signs from the universe so much as signs to the universe. Now here's one of my signs. It says, I'm a 10-year survivor. Now I made this sign because I like to send signs out to the universe of what I'd like to mirror back to myself. So I made this sign just 5 years ago when I had made it to living 5 years with a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. I was expected to live much shorter time than that, only about 6 months, but I made it to 5 years, so I thought, let's go for 10. So now, today, I'm going to go home and replace this sign, since it's been 10 years, that says I am a 15-year survivor. Again, just liking to make signs out to the universe that give my requests, my orders to the divine delicatessen that we are privileged to live in, so that in my life I get back what I'm hoping to have out picture. Now, when I say the word physicist, who's the first one you think of? Is it Sir Isaac Newton? He had an apple fall on his head, and thought, let's put together some thoughts on gravity, that force that pulls on things. Boy, does it pull on things. But gravity is a great way to explain the forces on planets and what keeps them in orbit, really big things. But it's not so great, Newtonian physics, at explaining the way things work at a small level. That's more quantum physics, the molecules and the atoms, the protons, the electrons, the neutrons, that are the energetic particles of the universe. So imagine now that it's 125 years ago and you're watching your fire burn in your beautiful fireplace, and you see orange and red flames and the very hot blue flames. Well, that's what Max Planck, the famous German physicist, experienced, and he said, there is a hot rainbow mess going on here. And there's red, and there's yellow, there's blue, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 colors. That's a quantity. I can quantify that. And that's where we get quantum physics. That's all it is for a blonde grandmother, because I'm not a physicist and don't pretend that I understand any more than that. So Einstein, another great physicist, said everything is that energy. The energy that's at the center of everything. Does that sound familiar, that energy is everything? For me, it's a little bit reminiscent of what our beloved Dr. Roger Teal says when he says, thoughts thicken into things. So I make signs that I send out to the universe so that in my life I can thicken or work on what I want to have out picture in my reality. So another great metaphysician, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, also said, again, a similar thing. We're going to look at it using a number of similar ideas today. Ernest Holmes said there's a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. There's an energy force, there's an aliveness. The creative ultimate presence is energy, and it's light, and it's intelligence, and it's information, and we can use it in our own lives. We can use it because we live in a participatory universe. That power is in us, and we are in it, and it's this beautiful interplay of all the atoms and molecules that have ever been created. Even in the Bible, it says, I think in Proverbs, that as a man thinketh, so he is. Well, a more modern version that I like to use is, as I thinketh, as I believe in my sacred mind, body, spirit temple, so it becomes. For me, that's a way of saying my thoughts are important. They are simply energy. I can use them and incorporate them in my everyday life and be more loving, be more kind, be more creative, be more connected. Other ways that you may have heard this in our own faith tradition, Science of Mind, is that everything is created twice, once in mind and then in kind. Or we also say what you focus on grows. We also say, stop me if you've heard all these. We also say where your attention flows, energy goes. Just another simple way of saying that our energy is the creative force in the universe. So I shared one sign that I send out to the universe with you already. And then I have a second sign that I use a lot. And it is so simple. It's 4 letters. I think of it as the super secret sauce of the universe, the way life works. So this simply means that a thought plus an emotion plus our actions demonstrate what we get back in our lives. So I've been using that for a long time, but most recently I've been using it with regards to my food choices. So I have the emotion, the E, the thought plus the emotion. And so the E is like, I am hungry. And then my thought is about, now I said to myself, and put it on a sticky note on my mirror, my affirmation, that I would make healthy food choices. So what is my thought around this? It is to have a salad instead of a Twinkie. And then my actions would be that I go in the kitchen, open my refrigerator, and fix a beautiful salad. And that demonstrates, hopefully, outpictures in my body as wonderfully healthy cells. The affirmation I like to use around that is that all my healthy cells radiate energy. My healthy cells are radiating a healthy energy. Another use of T plus E plus A equals D in my life is around my physical activity and my social activity. So for me, the emotion is, I want to play good tennis. I really do. And so the thought for me is, so I need to go hit a lot of balls. So I go across the street to some courts and I do those actions. Actions are such a key important part of this. In Science of Mind, we also say treat and move your feet. It's the moving your feet that's critically important. And then, in a perfect world, the demonstration would be that my little tennis team, the Bad News Bears, wins some tennis matches. But we haven't done that yet. But anyway, I'm really thinking the formula will work again for me. The other thing about joining this team of tennis girls is that it provides a social outlet for me. And so since my husband passed away a year ago, that's been really important because the research shows that the people who live the longest and the healthiest have at least 3 important social relationships in their lives. So this whole process of putting a sign out to the universe that I'm a social person is also helpful in the relationship realm. So in summary, I hope you'll use physics and metaphysics in your life and that you send some signs out to the universe that help bring back to you a life that's happy and healthy and fulfilling and wonderful.
As I breathe deeply into this very moment, I recognize the goodness that is here. I recognize that the Spirit, the power, the presence that I call God is right here with me, right here through me, and right here as me. Knowing that, accepting that, I know it for all of creation, that right where you are, there is that same power and presence moving through and as you. When I can recognize this power and this presence, I realize that I can relax into this moment, that nothing that came before or nothing that comes after truly has any bearing. All of life, all the good, exists right here in this moment. It is so very good to recognize that and accept it. And as I know that for myself, I know it for each and every person hearing my word now. That right where you are right now, with one deep breath, you can commune with that beautiful Spirit of God that lives as the center of your being and relax into that moment. Relax into every moment with just that one simple recognition. How good that is to know, to feel. So I am so very deeply touched by gratitude, so grateful in this very moment to recognize that power and presence, to recognize the perfect moment as it is existing right now, and grateful for the opportunity to know this truth for each and every one. So in that spirit of gratitude and thanksgiving, I just release the prayer into the law, knowing it can be no other way, and it is done. And so it is.